Welcome to Evolution on the Mic. I am your host, Ariana de la Cruz.
And I'm your co-host, Antoine Dove.
And we are back, season 6, Faith in God, episode 4, New Adventure, Same God. In our last episode, y'all, we discussed how to lean on God in preparation for your next romantic relationship. In that episode, we had discussed how we want to find somebody that is in alignment with God, someone that loves us the way God loves us, so that we can find alignment and be with someone that we can grow together in God's purpose. If you missed that episode, I highly recommend that you go and watch it, especially for my single gals and men out there, because it was very mind opening on how we want to find somebody that is in alignment with God and loves us the way God loves us. So check it out if you missed it. On this episode today, we're going to be discussing how to stay motivated when the future is uncertain. Okay, so if anybody has anything going on, if you are in a place where you're trying something new, you are venturing into something new, right? And you feel God calling you to do something that you've never done before, please stay tuned and watch this episode, because I feel that this episode is going to open you up, mind, body, and soul, to take on the challenges and know that you are not alone, that God is with you and God loves you. But before we get into all that, Antoine, how are you? How you been?
I'm great, Adi. What's up? What's going on? How you doing? How you doing? It's been a minute.
I'm so good, right? It feels like it's been forever. I'm good. I actually just had my brother here for a few days. He visited me from New York, and I'm like, yeah, great. He waited right before I'm moving right out the country, but it was great to have him here. I had an amazing time. We had an amazing couple of days, vibing, talking, laughing, eating, just enjoying each other's company thoroughly. I love my brother so much. So yeah, it was a great couple of days. I'm so excited about that, and super excited about my move to Costa Rica. I have great news. I think the last time that I mentioned this, I had not yet booked my flight, or there was things still up in the air. Yep. So since we last spoke, I actually was able to book my flight. So I am actually officially moving to Costa Rica in a couple weeks, and everything has already been prepared. My flight, my stay, my shuttle when I get there. Like, I've been able to arrange everything. So I am super excited. I've been selling everything in my apartment. It's, almost empty now. And yeah, so in a couple weeks, y'all, you're going to see a whole new backdrop. Bear with me if things are not 100%, and bear with me and Antoine in these couple weeks as well if our episode seems to be a little short, because I'm a little tight on time with everything going on. So for you guys watching, we're doing the best that we can to make sure that we're still shooting every week, and that we have some content for you guys, because this is something important to us. So we don't feel like having a missed episode is even an option. So we want to make sure that we have something. And so we know if these episodes tend to be short in the next few weeks, just know it's because Ariana is going through a huge transition, moving to another country. But yeah, that's pretty much it for me. How about you, Antoine? What's been going on? How you been feeling?
Life's good. Life's good, Adi. Yeah, life's good, man. I'm getting deeper in this work that I'm doing at this the company that I've been with now for almost a year. It'd be a year in this May that I've been with them, and it's been great, man. Like, I've taken on a lot of the hiring responsibilities here at this company, and
nice.
What I've started to realize is that there's such a human element to hiring people, like that connection that we feel, understanding where people are at and where they're trying to go, and connecting those dots are so critical. And so I'm not even gonna lie, like, I'm at a place now where I really am enjoying the work that I'm doing, and I feel like it's having an impact, and the people that I'm working with are great to work around, and I'm getting a chance to do some coaching and help with the team. So it's been great. I can't complain, and God's still here with me, and God's still shepherding me along, and He's still showing me things in my life and areas that I need to continue to work on, and I'm just grateful for that, because I know He's always here with me, and no matter what I go through, He's got my back. And to me, like, that is so critical when you are facing things that are uncertain. Like, things are in my life have been uncertain for the past year, and I feel like now I'm starting to get to a place where there's a little bit more predictability in some of the things that are coming ahead, and I'm starting to gain a little bit more control over situations and things that I'm facing. And I'm grateful for God for that, because I think he's opening those doorways to make it happen. But while we're on this topic of future and looking at the future and uncertainty, I have to ask, Ari, I mean, you're going through a lot here. Like, I can't believe you're so close to going to Costa Rica. Like, you're about to be out this piece. You know,
Ah,
how when you were making your decisions around going to Costa Rica and in general, like how do you stay motivated to keep pushing when the future
yeah,
is uncertain? I think that's the big question. It's like, how do you keep that motivation when the future is uncertain? You don't know what's ahead, and
yeah.
God's just saying, trust me, walk blindly, like walk in my faith.
Yeah, I mean, for me, it's been a constant reminder of my why,
Mm,
a constant reminder of what called me to even move to another country, specifically move to Costa Rica, right? So for any of you guys out there that don't know the story, me moving to Costa Rica didn't just happen like overnight. Me out of nowhere, 2025. Oh, I'm gonna go to Costa Rica. No, this has been something in the making since 2018. Specifically, April of 2018. I visited Costa Rica. My coworker when I had my 9 to 5, she lived in Costa Rica. Well, she's from Costa Rica, and her mom had a home there, and
mm,
they invited me to come and visit Costa Rica with them. So I
nice.
went on a trip, right? I didn't really know what to expect. All I knew that there was gonna be water, mountains, nature, and I was like, oh, I can't wait to maybe see a volcano, things like that, right? And when I get there, we landed in San Jose, which is the main city, the capital of Costa Rica. And my friend's mom lives in like the city life, right? So there is no beach nearby. There's, no mountains. All you see is little houses and buildings, and that's it. And I was like, this is not what I expected, y'all. Like, I did not expect to be here, like in the city. I wanted to be on the beach. So this is not gonna work for me. Yeah. And they had obligations to take care of in Costa Rica, so they couldn't leave with me. But I said, I need to figure out where's the beach. Point me to the beach because I'm leaving if it's by myself, love yada dev. And they told me, oh, there's 2 beaches nearby. The closest one is gonna be Jaco Beach. You can take the bus, we can drop you off to the bus, and it's like a 2-hour bus ride and you'll be at the beach, whatever. So I ended up Googling that same night a Airbnb that was in Jaco. And I came across the hotel called Diamante de Sol, and it was a beautiful high rise on the beach. And I was like, great. I booked it the next morning at 6 in the morning. My friend, drove me to the bus stop, and I took my bus by myself for 4 nights in Diamante de Sol hotel. Right. So when I got there, I was like, wow, this is what I pictured Costa Rica to be. The beach, the mountains, the views were beautiful, like nature, the animals. Like I was just like, yes, this I could do for a couple days. And I felt as soon as I even landed actually in Costa Rica, as soon as I got off the plane and a whiff of the Costa Rican air hit me, I felt that Costa Rica was like my home. I got goosebumps all over my body. I felt like I was meant to be there, and I didn't understand why. It wasn't until I got to Jaco Beach and I got into that hotel and I saw my view and just the beauty of it all was when it hit me like this is why I felt like this was for me.
Mm,
And I felt God telling me one day you're gonna live here, one day you're gonna own a home here. I've had dreams of living on a hilltop in Costa Rica around that time. And I was like, wow, this is so beautiful. Like, of course, doubting like this probably would never happen. But here we are a couple years later, and I had the opportunity to go as a business owner. I don't really have obligations as far as like a significant other, kids. There's really nothing stopping me, and I can take my job anywhere I go because everything I do is remote, right? Everything I do is online. So it was like, why not? And why not Costa Rica? And that's when it started, this journey of me looking for everything. But I've always known that Costa Rica would be a place I call home since 2018 when I
mhm,
landed in Costa Rica. And now that like things are in motion, right? And I'm selling everything in my apartment, I'm selling my car, I'm selling my belongings, I'm getting my flight in order, signing a lease in Costa Rica, everything that I'm doing, yes, there's moments where I'm freaking out, where I'm panicking, anxiety, losing sleep, questioning, God, you sure? that this is you telling me and it's not me. Like, you know, there was a lot of moments of that in the last couple weeks, because I'm like, is this real? Is this happening? And it's scary to be in a whole different country, right? Away, super away from everyone. And one thing that brought me back to sanity was remembering those feelings that I had when I first landed in Costa Rica, and how safe I felt, how amazing my spirit felt, how my being just came to life in a beautiful way. Like if I've been there before. It was like an inner feeling, like I've been here, like I recognized this place, and it was beautiful. And and now I'm just looking forward to feeling that again. I'm looking forward to landing in Costa Rica and feeling that feeling of home. And I know that I'm going to experience that because I've seen God's hand in this move so much, right? So much so that when I signed my contract to the place I'm going to live in Costa Rica, I know God is in it so much that the owner lives in Florida. Wow. She lives in Delray Beach, Florida. I'm in West Palm Beach, Florida. That's like 25 minutes away from me. Right. And not only that, Delray Beach was the first place I moved to when I left my mom's house in New York. When I first left New York, the first place in Florida that I lived in was Delray Beach. When I signed that contract, when I seen the contract and it said the owner's name and where she lived, I started bawling out of control. Like, I started crying because I'm like, there's no way. God is giving me all the signs in the world. Like, I am in this. My hand is in this. You're not in this alone. And you can trust that this is going to work out in your highest favor because you have just been obedient. You have just been following me blindly. You have been following me with, you know, all the doubts humanly possible, but you're still doing. You haven't allowed your doubts and your fears to completely stop you in your tracks, right? So it's just so much things that has happened that has allowed me to feel confident in the uncertainty, because it's like, I see God's hand. I see him moving. I know that he's calling every step that I've been taking, but it's ultimately me remembering the reason that I started all of this in the first place. Is, you know, like, like remembering why I made this decision, and understanding as well that things are going to unfold in its divine time. Right. So there was moments where I was like, am I going to get rid of everything in my apartment on time? Am I going to find somebody to, you know, buy my car at a price that I'm okay with? And even down to me selling my car, like, I already got a buyer, and that fell on my lap too, you know? So those things is what keeps me motivated. That's what keeps me encouraged. That's what keeps me from not falling so much into the fear and staying in the hope and staying in the excitement and staying in the amazingness that is going to happen for me when I get there, because of everything, the way it's happening. I'm very mindful of the movements, the moves, the way everything has been flowing thus far, you know? So I know that there's people watching that may not have those exact experience where things are just happening in 100% flow, where you don't really see God's hand, where you're not 100%, you know, feeling like this is in alignment, you know, but there's a reason why whatever decision you've made, or anything that any decision you're thinking of making, there's a reason why that's there. There's a reason why it was put there. There's a reason why you started. There's a reason why you're thinking of starting. There's a reason why that dream is in there, right? So in those situations, you have to think to yourself, why do I even have this thought, this dream, this passion, this desire? Why is it even there to begin with? It came from something, and we got to lean into that something. Maybe it's something in the future. Maybe it's something that you see yourself doing and being or becoming, right? Something that you desire to have, but you got to work on X, Y, and Z from now, right? So just remembering those little nuggets of thoughts, of memories, of feelings is going to help you stay on track, even if there is fears, even if there is doubts, even if it feels very uncomfortable, even if it feels like you're never going to make it, right? Those good feelings of the vision that you have of the future, of whatever it is that you want to see happen or what you want to see yourself doing, that's what's going to keep you in tune with it, and is going to keep you moving towards it, you know? But I'm not saying at all that this is going to be a walk in the park for you, because shit is real. Fear is real. It just is. It's just fact, you know? It's not going to be easy. It's not going to be a walk in the park. But if you give it to God, if you trust in him, if you lean in him, if you choose to find the ways God is helping maneuver things, even with ideas, is maybe somebody tells you something and you're like, I know they told me that for a reason, because they sparked something inside of me that I thought was kind of fading out, that reignited something again. You think that was by coincidence, that someone says something to help it reignite something that you were thinking of doing, but maybe you were going astray? No, that's God, because he wants you to stay in it. And as long as you stay in it and you don't decide to just bow out at the first sign of this is scary, it's going to work out over time. It's going to manifest. Things are going to get better. You will perfect the thing that you need to perfect. You will see things working in your favor, going in the right direction. Things will get better, right? If it's a skill, your skill set will get better in time. You just have to stay in it long enough to see the fruits of that labor. And a lot of the times we do not stick with things long enough to see the results. We don't stick to things long enough to see the fruits of our labor. We just start working. This is hard. This isn't working. I'ma just quit. Or I lost my motivation. Or the future is too uncertain for me. I don't want to continue. I want to go back to the easy route. I want to go back to comfort. I want to go back to what I know. And all that's going to happen is going to keep you where you've been, and you're never going to know where you could have gone, where you could go. You're never going to know that, So what I, suggest that you guys do is start telling yourself that you can and you will, that it's not going to happen today and it's not going to happen overnight, but that it will happen. And to stay the course long enough to see something start manifesting for you, right? Because quitting, you already know the result of quitting. But if you keep going and you continue to try, the future is still growing and developing in your favor. But when you stop, you're just completely, shying away from the possibility. But at least if you're in it, the future is still a possibility for you. There's still something there that you can work for to attain.